your boy Frank Gore. I'm listening to 49er Rush, Niners all day. Let's bring 6 home, baby. Let's go.
I love it, man.
It's time for the 49ers Rush podcast. Here's your host, John Chapman.
All right. 49ers fans, the season has come to a close. And gosh, heartbreaking fashion. Would we have it any other way, right? Like, you live by the Niners, you die by the Niners. And you had so many close calls where the 49ers were able to edge out victory. You can go back to week 18. You can go against Dallas, you can go against Green Bay, and they were in the same situation again versus the Rams here in the NFC Championship. And it's just, they came up short. And to be honest with you, like, you've got to give credit to this team for so many things. They had no business making it this far. The roster's solid. The coaching staff is solid, but there were some major deficiencies. If you want to talk about quarterback play, yeah, that was an issue today. Not sure that's the reason why they lost. 0 fourth quarter points again. Whether that's Jimmy Garoppolo or Kyle Shanahan, doesn't really matter. It's a continued theme issue. Again, yeah, you got the field goal against the Packers to win the game, but the only touchdown you scored there was special teams. And the fact that you allowed the Rams to score 13 fourth quarter points and you put up a goose egg, and it looked bad. It just looked bad offensively. You got the ball to midfield. It was 4th and 2. You punted it. Didn't go for it. Kyle Shanahan definitely deserves a lot of the blame. But it's a weird loss. It's a weird feeling, right? I'm not sitting here, with this, like, I guess pissed off isn't the right word, even though I felt like we probably should have won. The 49ers were in position to win the game, especially with how that first half went. Golly, so many dropped interceptions from the Rams, dropped interception by Tart. Tart had a really bad game, and I do want to say, like, I really respect the fact he jumps on Twitter immediately afterwards and in the press conference said, that's on me. I got to be better. The dropped interception, that was huge. They got 3 points from that. We lost by 3 points. With the 49ers to score that possession, we looked really, really bad the entire fourth quarter on offense and defense. So I'm not sure that would have won it, but Tart was bad before that too. If you go back to the first half, they were picking on him. I think it was 3 third downs in a row. They went right at Tart. And successfully, I might add. Now, Tart made some positive plays, and I think he's had a great year. But if you just take a step back, and we're going to spend all offseason, obviously. It's draft season and all those things. But a lot of these players aren't coming back. And it's the same way with the NFL every year. This might be one of the biggest turnover periods that the 49ers have had under Kyle Shanahan. All those players that you brought back on one-year deals. And obviously, you want most of them back. Jimmy, I doubt that he returns. I'm pretty sure he'll probably get traded for something. We'll spend a lot of time talking about that. And again, I'm not trying to say without Jimmy, we don't get to where we are. I'm definitely not the biggest Jimmy supporter. I'm a Jimmy supporter, but I'm not like a Jimmy stan by any stretch. Tart, DJ Jones, K'Wan Williams, like you can just go up and down the line. There's a lot of guys that were in that 1-year deal because of the COVID salary cap drop that we were able to get back. I don't think a lot of those guys are going to be able to come back. We'll have to see. I hope DJ Jones for sure. He should be a priority. But this is a weird... it's even as a teacher, when the year ends and you say goodbye and you do all those things, you go through a journey. You're all different people because of what you went through together. And things aren't the same. And, students always have the same thing like, oh, I'm going to keep in touch and I'll come back. And it doesn't work that way. Things move on. And it's not a bad thing. It's just, we're not going to be the same. Like, things change, right? MK Green, thank you. He says, man, it was a hell of a ride. Thank you for being there with us through it all. And yeah, I mean, it was rough, Steven. I'm with you. I'm heartbroken too. And no disrespect towards Jimmy, but I think it is Lance time. That's what Steven put on there, and I appreciate that. Tommy, thank you for the gift, man. He said, this is why I wanted the Bucks, John. I mean, the Bucks are our worst matchup for us, but yeah, I mean, the Rams played well. The 49ers lost this game. They lost it. You give up 11 out of 18 third down conversions. And, I put this out on Twitter too. I was at the game. It was an incredible time. Amazing time hanging out with everybody on the beach on Saturday night and tailgating all day today. I'm exhausted. Whew. But, you live it. You know what I mean? And you go through the highs. You go through the lows. That's what makes sports so incredible. But at the end of the day, it was Cooper Kupp versus Debo. And which defensive coordinator was going to stop the other one? Well, D'Amico, who I love and I think should be hired as a head coach. You gave up 20 points to the Rams, which is good, but you did not stop Kupp at all. That dude just dominated. Really, both outside wide receivers. Kupp goes 11 for 142, 2 touchdowns. Odell Beckham, 9 for 113. And again, we've talked about this ad nauseum. Right guard, right tackle continued to be an issue this game. Corner depth continued to be an issue this game. And eventually it's going to get you. And it did. It finally got him. Sean, thank you for the gift, man. He said, I'm proud of this team. The closer you get to the big one, the worse it hurts. That's very, very true. But I challenge you to name a more hopeful team in the NFC going forward. Yeah, you really can't. You really can't. The AFC is stacked with quarterbacks, but I'm with you, Sean. That's well said. The future is bright for the 49ers. And, I conclude the podcast every time with the same cheesy, corny phrase, like, stay strong, faithful. And I think that we're almost, I don't think this is it. We're pretty close to episode 500. I think we hit it in the next week or two. But, that's a lot of times to say that. And sometimes it means something, sometimes it doesn't. And I think it means something right now. With where the 49ers are moving forward, it's bright. The future is very, very bright. Would you have liked to be in the Super Bowl? Hell yeah. Yeah, all the time. All the time. But, this is being our 17th NFC championship, 5th in the last 11 years. We are continuously putting ourselves in position. We just got to cash it in. BTNH, thank you for the gift, man. Love it. Luke, what's up, Luke? He says, was in the live chat in the presser, and I went from being sad to soldier all defense fans. Yeah, man, you root for the team. And it's okay to be upset. That's okay. Be upset, be mad. That's cool. It's part of the sport. It's part of being a fan. Try not to lash out to the players. Don't go tagging players. Don't go messaging players. That ain't going to get anybody any positive anything. Anyway, Jose, he says, no more love and hate for Jimmy. It's time to move on. I think you're right. And, I caught just one little clip. I drove straight from the stadium. Can't go live at SoFi. The service is so bad there. I apologize about that. Y'all had to wait. But, I saw one clip from Jimmy, ending his presser. It's probably his last one. Now, will they be able to keep him? They can. And he's not even that expensive a quarterback. He'll be $25 million against the cap, which is about where he should be. I see a lot of people asking about, will he take a team-friendly deal? Do you keep him? I think it's time to move on. But we'll see. Kyle... we'll see what Kyle does. Cornelio, he says, just happy this was Jimmy's last game with us. I feel the same way. And I wish Jimmy would have won. Jimmy's a good dude. Jimmy's a great teammate. He's been great for the 49ers. We weren't winning before him. I'm not saying we won solely because of him. But it's time to move on. Nobody you need to know. Thank you, man. He said, not so sad that the Niners lost, as I am the Rams won. Yeah. Going to turn into the biggest Bagels fan for one game. Rams must lose the Super Bowl. Yeah, I'm with you. I think the entire country, besides Kansas City, is going to be pulling for the Bengals. I know I sure will. Thank you, XTRA. Appreciate it, man. Pities. He says, what do you expect from a Jimmy trade and where? It's going to probably be a cross-conference, so an AFC team, or a coach whose job's on the line. Steelers makes the most sense. There's a lot of teams out there where it would work. My guess is he'd probably get about a second rounder, or you could package something together and maybe get a first. I was talking to some buddies after the game, and I was like, man, if I could do anything my way, it would be what's it called? Jimmy and a second for a first rounder, mid first rounder. That'd be ideal. Now that's being, best case scenario, but probably a second or a third round pick. But again, if you just a quick glimpse to the AFC, I mean, Denver, they need a quarterback for sure. You've got, Jacksonville, no. Houston, maybe. We'll see. I think they're going to keep Davis Mills. They're obviously going to trade away Deshaun Watson, but they could bring in, a full-time guy. That makes sense there, especially if Brian Flores goes there. He was with Jimmy in New England. That makes sense. Makes a lot of sense, to be honest with you. Cleveland, yeah, that makes sense big time. I think they got Baker for one more year, but that would be a good fit. Pittsburgh's the best. Pittsburgh's the best situation period. Outside of that, there's nowhere else in the NFC. If you're looking, or AFC, if you're looking NFC, obviously not a division. Carolina makes a little bit of sense. New Orleans makes a lot of sense, depending on who their new head coach is going to be. But will you trade them to a division opponent? Remember, 49ers didn't get into the playoffs. The next team was the Saints. So do you trade them to a competitor? We'll see there. Tampa Bay, I don't think so. Just does not fit that offense unless they change coaches and all those things. Giants maybe, but again, doesn't really fit with what they do. Washington maybe still. Washington might fit. So there's a couple maybes, but it's going to be in the AFC. That's where it's got to go. And just a couple other things from this game. 49ers couldn't establish a run at all. We have 50 rushing yards. 50. Only ran the ball 20 times. We got outrushed. The Rams rushed for 70 yards, which isn't much, but it's more than what we had, right? And, they almost had 400 total yards. The two previous wins against the Rams, they didn't pass 300 yards. They almost had 400. The defense couldn't get off the field at all. And that was a major problem, because our defense was tired. Nick Bosa played incredible, sack and a half, tackles for losses. He's doing what he does. We just missed it, man. Jimmy Ward struggled. Tart, as I said, struggled. Dre Greenlaw got hurt. That was rough. And you got hits on the quarterback. We got 9 hits on the quarterback, which is fine, but only 2 sacks. We didn't cash a lot of those in. 5 tackles for loss, but whenever you're giving up so many third down conversions, right? They go 11 for 18, and a lot of those drives were long. Special teams, they didn't do anything wrong. Special teams were good. Special teams were good. We didn't lose it because of special teams. We lost it. Bad quarterback play. You can say some bad play calling for sure, and some judgment calls that could have went the other way. And the defense, man, we could not stop Cooper Kupp, and we didn't really even try to. I want to be real. We'll go through all the film, and we'll go in every single play, still doing that. And for all the Patreon subscribers, I want to say thank you for this year, man. Incredible. Awesome. Now, it don't stop. Not this week, probably next week. I'm going to take like 3 or 4 days off, which will be very good. My wife is excited about that. It's draft time, baby. Like, it's what it is. We take this loss. Tomorrow I might sleep for 24 hours straight after I get through with school. But we're going to be going through all the film. And in draft time, man, I love it. We're going to be breaking down as much NFL draft content as you could possibly handle. And we're throwing our party in Vegas. So if you need something to look forward to, you ain't got to look any further. Look in the description of this video, podcast, whatever. Go get your tickets. We are throwing a party with Fred Warner and Elijah Mitchell in person. You want autographs? You want to hang out with these players? We're going to be broadcasting live for the whole draft, days 1 and 2, in Las Vegas. It's going to be incredible. You want to get those tickets? Man, once we sell out, I tell people all this all the time. I told people we're going to sell out the tailgate, told people, the party Saturday night, all those things. People don't listen. I'm telling you right now, this Vegas party's selling out. When it sells out, we only have so many spots because we only get the players for so long for autographs. Again, it's in the description of this video, podcast, whatever. Just to expand the details, it's right there. Click on it. And when our autograph slots are gone, they're gone. It's going to be a small, intimate party on the strip, man. It's going to be incredible. So if you need something to look forward to, you guys know me. We positive all the time here. And so we're going to keep it going. We're going to keep it going. So appreciate that, man. Oh, what's up, man? I love this. Buddy High, yeah, man, I see you there, man. Really appreciate you. One of my students jumped in there. He's a Chiefs fan. And, I did a bet with a lot of my students that I teach at, and the conditions were Rams have to win by more than 3. They didn't do that. And then also Odell had to score a touchdown. So they won by 3. So luckily I don't have to do too much, but they're great. They're good sports. Bill, thank you for the gift, man. He said, thanks for the therapy all year, man. And that's like, it's we've built this and we've gone through so much, right? Like, and you feel that. You feel it. And we all grow together, man. So thank you, Bill. Oh, man, Derek, dude, really appreciate the gift and the generosity. That is incredible. Derek says, thanks for all the content this year. I've been listening for years. Derek, absolute pleasure, man. Just glad to be here. And, we'll see what it looks like, man. And we just keep moving forward. And I have been preaching from the mountaintops. 2023 is the year this team will be at its best. The future's bright. Future's bright. On top of that, not only did we just get out of the NFC Championship, we finished 3rd in our division. Why does that matter? We have a 3rd place schedule next year. Future's bright. Future's really, really bright. Trey got to sit almost all year. He got 2 starts, 1-1 in his starts. Almost beat Arizona when they were the best team in the NFL early on, and then just destroyed the Texans, but they're really, really bad. Yeah, Trey got a lot of, valuable time through practice. He saw playoffs. He saw what that's like. It's his time. It's his time. Let's see here. Oh, what's up? John L. Chapman. I love it. He says, do you have high confidence that Trey Lance is the answer? To me, Jimmy gets a bad rap. He was banged up all year. Jimmy does get a bad rap, but he's very limited. Probably one of Jimmy's best throws all year took place in the game today whenever he threw outside the numbers deep to Ayuk. Probably one of his best throws, but the field is so limited. Think about those times where Jimmy's pocket presence is usually trash awful. Is very good this game. Very good. But as soon as he got out of the pocket, he made the worst choices and, passes ever. Pick 6 by Ramsey. Good Lord. That just got dropped. So there's a reason why Kyle Shanahan and this team traded all that draft capital to go up to number 3. And we got to hold them at their word, right? Because they told us we're keeping Jimmy and we traded up to get this kid. What? So believe them. Everybody kept saying, Jimmy's going to be traded. Jimmy's going to be traded. But I think we're to that point now. And I could be wrong, and I've been wrong before, but it just makes a lot of sense. You've had Trey sit for a year. You've had Trey learn. Let's see what it is. Now, how do we know how great Trey is going to be? We don't. He looked pretty good in those 2 snaps. There's some issues for sure. But what he does do, and I think this is what's important, the entire playbook is opened, the running game is expanded, and he can throw the ball vertical outside the numbers. It's one of the things he's best at. So I think those things are there, man. And I personally, again, if I was the general manager, which thankful for everybody here, I'm not, I'd be shopping Jimmy G for sure. And he's such a good dude. And I really hope they send him to a good place because he deserves it. And he'll get a team to the playoffs just like he has us. Health is always going to be a concern, but I want nothing but the best for Jimmy. He's a great dude. Like, not a Jimmy hater. Just understand it. I mean, as somebody that's broken down every single offensive play for the past 2.5 years, I can tell you he's very limited. Very limited. Mr. Joe, what's up, man? He says, shout out, John. Listen to you on the podcast format, but here to pay respect. Can't believe we blew this game. Yeah, we had a chance at our 6th, and it's rough because you don't know. You don't just get back. I feel very confident about the 49ers moving forward, but it's not that simple all the time, right? It's not like, oh, we'll be back next year or the year after. 2023, man, I got that circled, but sometimes things go weird. Injuries, whatever. It's not that black and white. You're exactly right, Joe, and it's rough. It's rough. But you guys are great. Just want to say thank you guys. And hey, we still crushed our bets. If you bet with us on MyBookie, man, they've been great. I'll keep putting that out there. MyBookie.ag. Use promo code 49ers, 49ERS. They'll double your initial deposit all the way up to $1,000. They've been with us all year. I'll put some Super Bowl bets out there for sure. And we're going to do our Niners year in review on Patreon, where we do our Zoom hangout every month. We're doing 2 this month because it's, Right now it's January, but we're going to hold it in February next week. So next week, I'm going to put that on the calendar, figure that out. I got to talk to the wifey. We're going to have our Zoom conference call for all our Jerry Rice tier Patreon members next week and just do a year in review. Favorite moments, worst moments, what are some things you want changed? And we're going to go through that. It's going to be a lot of fun. So really appreciate you guys. You are incredible. And man, what a year. And from 2-4 to 3-5 to barely making the playoffs and overtime to the NFC Championship and blowing it in the fourth quarter. It's the way the Niners are, man. If we want entertainment, there's not a better team out there. The future is bright, guys. And I just want to say thanks again. And as always, and I mean this, stay strong, faithful. Take your lumps. At work, take your lumps. When people talk trash, nod, smile. You're right. Take it. That's who we are. But just to understand, man, we ain't far from the top. And we'll be there again. Appreciate you guys. Stay strong, faithful.